Taehyung says, "Oh really, okay then let's bath together, let me give you a good bath," he says while pulling her towards him and turn on the shower. YN says while stopping him, "Tae, I have already bathed, please stop, let me go, don't make me wet." She was about to go but Taehyung pushed her to the bathroom wall while caging her in shower. Between his both hands and he doesn't listen and make her dress wet by shower. Taehyung says with AS Euro D square root at carat G smirk, "Ooh, your clothes get wet, let me help you to remove it," he says while sliding her sleeves from her left shoulder. But YN push him gently to make sure he doesn't get hurt and get out the shower and give him a glare. Because she know Taehyung was doing this to tease her. Taehyung sees her glare, and a proud smirk appear on his face. After bath YN hand over him a bathrobe to wear, and YN still in bathroom with a wet clothes. Taehyung come out the bathroom and pick a beautiful dress from YN closet and go back to bathroom and give her to change her wet dress. Taehyung says while hand over her a dress, "Change your wet versus dress." YN says while taking the dress from Taehyung's hand, "Thanks." Taehyung crossed his ANM by his back and lay to the door and says with a creepy smirk, "Now change." YN says again while giving him an annoying look, "Can you please move from bathroom door, I need to change, can you please get out?" Taehyung says while gazing her eyes like he was memorize or something, "I am not doing anything, I am just standing there, don't forget that, it also my bathroom. You can't say get out to me like that, I am your husband, I can see you topless," he says with a creepy smirk and YN also understand what he wants to say. YN says, "Stop teasing me Tae." Taehyung reply, "I'm not bothering you, I'm just doing what you did to me, then why are you having a problem with it?" YN shout and says, "I can live with these wet clothes all day but I will not take off my clothes in front of you, do you get it?" She says and about to get out the bathroom but he grab her wet clothed waist and push her towards the door and pin her both hands above her head by his left hand and says, "Seems like my darling wants to make his husband out of control, leaving all day in this wet dress. Do you know how much you looking $Euro D square root T square root pound you are in wet clothes and your clothes be it a getting up and down by your heavy breath." Taehyung, "Just pleasuring my hungry eyes," he says while attaching his face to her face, "I can cancel my all today's meeting just to see in you all day like this." Taehyung questions, "Should I cancel my meetings?" YN turn her face to another side because he was trying to K and in her 1 hand, but he grabs her wet hair into his F less than an T to make her face to straight to him. Taehyung says while inhaling her neck, "Can I help you to remove your wet dress? You must be feeling uncomfortable." YN says, "You are the one who making me uncomfortable," she said directly with a brat behavior. Listening her brat behavior, his fist tighten on his hair and pulling its little bit in anger and YN hissed in pain and come out a scream from her mouth by his tightened grip on her hair. Taehyung grab her jaw and squeeze because of his squeeze. YN lip making a cute pout and says, "My little brat, I have to teach you some lessons to how to behave with your husband before he do something more," he interrupted by a call on his phone. But he doesn't give any care about it and grab her jaw and taking towards his lip. YN says with trying to distract him, "Tae, you are getting late for your office." YN says, "You must be late for your meeting, it must be an important call from office, you should punish me later but fist go and attend the call." She talking like a fish because of her lip squeeze by him, and for her surprise he removes his hands from YN jaw and hands and go towards his phone to attend the call. When he leave her hands and going out the bathroom, YN immediately try to close the door but Taehyung says while going out, "Just dare to close the door then I will show you what I will do with a brat child." She stop when she listens Taehyung and he go out and pick his call and talking about business meetings. YN saw him that he was busy with call and also he was not looking at her as his back was faced her, so she decides to change her wet dress with door open before he finish his call, so she quickly start to removing her wet dress and wear another one which Taehyung given her. Taehyung smirks while talking on the phone because he has a mirror in front of him and YN doesn't know that Taehyung's hunting eyes are still on her. He captured her every movement of her body by the mirror and her B at it which was barely covered by her red push-up BN at it almost half visible in front of his lusty eyes. Taehyung says in call, "Arrange only important meetings today," he said and cut the call and turned towards YN. YN come out the bathroom with a winner smile because she doesn't change her dress in font of Taehyung and says, "Now you are satisfied I changed my wet dress, I hope I am not looking $euro D square root at T. Square root E now," she cross her arms and says. Taehyung replied, "It doesn't matter to me whether you are clothed or without clothes, in my eyes you are always looking radish, and as for changing clothes, you are really looking $euro D square root at T. Square root euro on a red push-up bridge at it, but don't you think you saying wrong size BR at it, it's little bit small size for your big B at B's. Don't worry, I will buy you new perfect size. But first let me measure your size with my hand." YN was surprised to listening her bridge at information by him. YN says in anger, "Will you stop talking D? Hi tie with your D. Hi tie mouth." Taehyung reply, with a playful smirk while coming close to her, "Stop me if you can." Seeing Taehyung coming close to her, YN says to stop him, "Aren't you getting late for office?" Taehyung replied, YN says, "I will help you to get ready." After a few minutes, YN makes Taehyung completely ready to go to the office. She makes wear him shirt carefully and also wears his belt along with it. YN says with delight, "I've got you are all ready to go to the office," but her smile disappears when Taehyung pointing his fingers at Tae. In college, Taehyung always used to make ins tie because YN did not know how to make a tie and she liked making ties with Taehyung's hand. That is why she never learned how to make a tie because her tie was always made by Taehyung. Closing parenthesis. Taehyung sees her down face and understands that she didn't know how to make tie. YN says, "Give me 5 minutes, I will learn to make a tie by the net, after that I will make your tie quickly," she says and is about to go towards her phone, but Taehyung holds her hand and says, "No needs, I am an expert in making ties, so why are you going to look on the net?" YN reply, "No needs, your hand is already injured, I can't take any risk, let me watch on net," she says while again going to her phone, but that time Taehyung picks her up by her waist and put her on the dressing table like a toddler. YN says, "Tae, what are you doing? Put me down." Taehyung replied, "Just shut your mouth and watch how I make tie," he says while wrapping tie around YN neck. YN says, "Tae, you will get hurt," she says to stop him, but Taehyung puts his index finger to YN mouth and says, "Shut the FKK or I will shut your mouth by another way." After that Taehyung starts making tie in YN neck and says her to watch and learn. As YN look at the tie carefully how Taehyung makes it, but suddenly her eyes are attracted by Taehyung's slender, beautiful, attractive hand's finger. The way Taehyung makes tie, she finds cool as always, and her eyes were stuck in it. Taehyung also noticed that YN was pleasing her eyes by looking at his fingers. After making tie, Taehyung says, "Are you done pleasing your eyes?" YN come out with her thoughts and says immediately, "Oh what, I don't," she says while downing her face in feeling shy. Taehyung lifted her face by her chin with his index finger while looking into her eyes and says with a smirk, "My fingers is enough to make you cry." YN looked at him with confused eyes, but suddenly she understood what he meant. Then her eyes turn into an annoying face and she rolls her eyes on him and Taehyung sees it. Taehyung and €euro add ing her euro greater than GS apart in one go while pulling her close by her tie to decreasing their distance and says, "I dare you, just roll your eyes on me again. I swear I will spank. You're at $$ hard until it's turned into AR euro DT 0 mat 0. After Taehyung words and his sudden action, YN gulped hard nervously and gets scared a little bit and say, "The food will get cold on the dining table. Let's go for eat," YN says while removing the tie from her neck and putting it on Taehyung's neck. After dinner Taehyung was about to get up from his chair, but YN stop him and say, "Tae, your medicine." Taehyung ignore her and get up from the chair and going towards the main get for office. YN follow him and stand in front of him directly and says, "Tae, you need to take this medicine to heal your injured. Please take it," she says while showing him the medicine in her hand. Taehyung says, what if I will not take this medicine, what will you do, huh? YN think a little bit and says confidentially, L will not let you go to the office until you take it. Taehyung smirk and says, oh, that it's what you want, huh, then let go to our bedroom first. He says while coming towards her, and YN back off as much as she can. YN pleads him with guilty eyes and says, Tae, you get hurt because of me. That car accident happened because of my stupidity, you get injured, Becca. Taehyung didn't let her complete her sentence. In the middle, Taehyung takes the medicine from In's hands and eats it. YN smiled to see him taking medicine, but his next action makes her eyes wide in shock. Because the next movement is Taehyung smash hit. Few minutes, Taehyung break the K. $, and YN panting heavily for breath. And she whipping her T0NGUE by her right hand's long sleeves and Taehyung says, Tae, you tasked. So, bitter. Taehyung reply, bitter is your mad sign, not me, let me task you again. He says, pulling her towards him for a K. And but YN put her clam between his K and N. YN says, go for office, Tae, you are getting late, she says while making some distance between them. Taehyung glare at her because she didn't let him K. And again. And Taehyung going towards the door while glaring at her, but suddenly YN stop him and go towards him, as Taehyung happy to see YN coming towards him by herself. He thought YN coming towards him for give him a kiss. YN goes to him and stand in front of him. Seeing YN in front of him, Taehyung says, do you wanna task me again? YN reply, no. I'm here to clean off my lipstick on your face, she says while wiping Taehyung face by tissue paper. Taehyung frustrate and leaving for office angrily. YN sees Taehyung angry face and YN says, Tae, stop, listen her, and he stop. So she go towards him and says, please don't do any W0RK by your injured hand. Taehyung didn't reply her and again start to go, but YN next action made him freeze in his place. Because YN place a kiss on his chick for the first time by herself, YN says while giving him a peck on Taehyung chick, take care of yourself and don't get hurt again. She says and quickly run to upstairs to bedroom because of shyness. After that finally Taehyung went for office with satisfied smile. Time skip in night. After preparing dinner and home chores, YN feeling so tired so she decides to go for bath before Taehyung come from his office. After 15 minutes YN came out the bathroom while wrapping a towel around her chest. She knows that Taehyung didn't come home early, so she didn't take her clothes to bathroom. She sits on dressing chair and seeing her own chair afraid. While her hand was gripping on her chest towel and she scared because Taehyung was also not in home. She go to the bathroom and dress up and come out by bathroom and looking towards the balcony. Suddenly she heard a meow meow sound from the balcony. YN gathers all her courage and go towards the balcony to find it, and she found out there's a little cat who is making sounds of meow meow. YN says while looking at little cat, you little vixen kitty, you scared me like a hell. She says, and little cat comes towards YN legs and rub his body and tail against YN. YN smile and pick her into his arm and takes inside the room and close the balcony glasses and curtains. After the car accident, YN was feeling some uneven moments in the house, as if someone was watching her or keeping an eye on her. YN does not understand why she is suddenly feeling all this in the house, or is it all just her illusion? After Taehyung goes to the office, YN becomes afraid of being alone at home. That is why she closes all the doors and windows of the house after Taehyung goes to the office and also draws the curtains. YN picked up the cat in her lap and went down in the living room by the stairs and waited for Taehyung to come. While playing with the little cat, after some time YN hears the door opening, and she sees that Taehyung has come home from the office. YN smiles and goes towards Taehyung and says, "Welcome home, hub." She was about to say hubby, but she stopped herself in the middle, and Taehyung glare at her because she stopped in the middle. Taehyung also wanted to hear that from her mouth, then Taehyung eyes goes to the cat which is on the sofa. Taehyung says, "What is this cat doing here?" YN says, "I saw it on the balcony, I was alone so I brought it inside the house to play." Taehyung doesn't say anything and goes to the room, and YN also follows him to help him. Taehyung comes into the room and sits on the couch while spreading his lap and starts to unbuttoning his shirt, but YN stop him and kneel down in front of him between his leg to help him, and YN says, "Tae, let me do it. You will get hurt." Taehyung replied annoyingly, "No need, go and play with your cat. I can do it." YN says, "What happened, Tae? Did I do something wrong?" Taehyung says with dominance, "Call me hubby." YN replied with shock, "Huh, what?" Taehyung grabs her jaw and says, "Don't dare to try to be innocent or tonight I will sure ruin your all innocence. Call me hubby until I stop you." He ordered her with dominance. Seeing Taehyung in this mood, YN don't have any dare to deny his words, so she as Taehyung ordered her, Taehyung pleasuring his ear by listening to her hubby sound by her mouth while his head was resting on the couch with eyes closed. After 1 hour, In's mouth was tired of chanting hubby's words and her mouth was beginning to ache. YN says to Taehyung, "Tae, my mouth is aching, please stop me."